Imagine you are the world's largest manufacturer. Every single day you need to import millions of barrels of oil. But almost all of it has to pass through one narrow choke point that your enemies can block at any moment. That is China's nightmare. And Pakistan is China's solution. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into one of the most important and least talked about geopolitical relationships in the world. Why does China call Pakistan its iron brother? Why has China invested over $65 billion in this one country? And what does Pakistan give China that no other country can? Let's break it all down. Section 1. The geography factor. Here's the first and most important reason. Location, location, location. Pakistan occupies a position of considerable strategic value, located at the intersection of South Asia, Central Asia, and the Middle East. Now think about China's biggest vulnerability. Currently, 60% of China's oil must be transported by ship from the Persian Gulf all the way to Shanghai, a distance of more than 16,000 kilometers. That route passes through the Strait of Malacca, a narrow waterway that the U.S. Navy could potentially block in a conflict. This is what strategists call the Malacca Dilemma. But here's where Pakistan changes everything. The operationalization of CPEC is expected to reduce the existing 12,000-kilometer journey for oil transportation to China to just 2,395 kilometers. This is estimated to save China $2 billion every single year. How? Through Gwadar Port, a deep-sea port on Pakistan's southwestern coast, right on the Arabian Sea, just 400 kilometers from the Persian Gulf. Gwadar Port will serve as the trade nerve center for China, and it is operated by the China Overseas Port Holding Company, a state-owned Chinese company. Section 2. CPEC, the $65 billion mega project. This brings us to the centerpiece of the entire relationship, the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, or CPEC. Spanning an extensive 3,000-kilometer trajectory, CPEC connects Kashgar in China's Xinjiang region all the way to Pakistan's strategically vital deep-sea port of Gwadar in Balochistan. Originally valued at $46 billion, the value of CPEC projects grew to $62 billion as of 2020. By 2022, Chinese investment in Pakistan had risen to $65 billion. This isn't just roads and highways. CPEC includes modern motorways and railways, energy power plants, special economic zones, digital infrastructure, Gwadar Port development. CPEC is seen as the main plank of China's Belt and Road Initiative, and as of early 2024, is the BRI's most developed land corridor. Some analysts have compared CPEC's potential impact on Pakistan to the Marshall Plan, the American program that rebuilt Europe after World War II. That gives you a sense of just how massive this project is. Section 3. The Military and Defense Alliance. The relationship between China and Pakistan is not just economic. It is deeply military. In the past 5 years, 81% of Pakistan's total weapons imports came from China. Between 2014 and 2024, the two countries held 8 bilateral naval exercises. According to CPEC, the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, Pakistan is China's biggest arms buyer, accounting for nearly 63% of Chinese arms exports and 81% of Pakistan's arms imports between 2019 and 2024 came from China. This is a deep military dependency that works both ways. China gets a loyal, nuclear-armed ally on India's western border, and Pakistan gets advanced weapons it couldn't get from the West. Pakistan's integration into CPEC has deepened its strategic alignment with China, which Islamabad views as a vital counterbalance to Indian influence, particularly regarding Kashmir. Section 4. China's strategic goals. Countering India and the U.S. Let's be honest about the geopolitical chess game here. China and India are rivals, competing for dominance in Asia. And Pakistan sits right on India's western flank. Beijing's objective of enhancing its strategic footprint centers on linking Xinjiang's industrial base to the Arabian Sea via Gwadar Port. Looking ahead, Beijing aims to transform Gwadar into a major commercial and military outpost for Chinese access to the Middle East and European markets, reducing reliance on the vulnerable Malacca Strait, currently contested by India, and the U.S. Pakistan supports China's position on Xinjiang, Tibet, territorial disputes in the South China Sea, the Sino-Indian border dispute, as well as China's claim to Arunachal Pradesh. In return, China supports Pakistan on the Kashmir issue. It's a mutual diplomatic cover. Each country backs the other at the United Nations and on the world stage. Section 5. Energy and nuclear cooperation. Energy cooperation forms a cornerstone of this strategic alignment. Beijing has pledged around $28 billion for the development of Pakistan's energy infrastructure, focusing on hydroelectric and nuclear generation. In the nuclear domain, China helped construct two third-generation power reactors near Karachi, known as K2 and K3, each with a capacity of 1,100 megawatts. K2 became operational in 2021, followed by K3 in 2022. In 2023, China and Pakistan signed a $3.5 billion deal to construct the largest nuclear power plant in Pakistan, Chasma 5. This is nuclear cooperation at a scale that rivals U.S.-India civil nuclear deals. And it gives China enormous long-term influence over Pakistan's energy future. Section 6. Trade and economic dependency. China is Pakistan's largest trading partner and the largest source of imports. According to data from China Customs, total bilateral trade between China and Pakistan reached $23.1 billion in 2024, an increase of 11.1% from the previous year. But here's the complicated truth. In 2024, bilateral trade reached $23.1 billion, with a trade deficit exceeding $17 billion in China's favor. Pakistan is buying far more from China than it is selling. Pakistan's external debt reached $124 billion in 2024, with approximately $30 billion owed to China. In March 2025, China rolled over a $2 billion loan to Pakistan. So, why is Pakistan so important to China? 5 big reasons. Geography. Pakistan gives China a shortcut to the Arabian Sea and escapes the Malacca trap, CPEC, the most important project in China's entire Belt and Road Initiative military alliance, a nuclear-armed ally on India's western border. Diplomatic cover. Pakistan backs China on Taiwan, Tibet, Xinjiang, South China Sea energy access, nuclear plants, dams, and a route to Middle Eastern oil.